Alright, what's up, yins, guys? I'm going to show you how to use these things in, which I should have showed you a long time ago, but I was using them as handles like I do the baton for doing the splits, but we're finally going to do more of what I wanted to show you in the first place, which enables me to do all those things with knuckle push-ups and do the splits, bare knuckle or on the fingers and everything. And I did this years ago with hammers. You can probably get off a lot cheaper instead of buying these. Like a pair of these and a pair of these cost you a little over $100 on Amazon. The Retrospec brand. If you want to go cheaper, go to your hardware store and buy a different size hammers. That'll do you some good. But this is going to be about cranking your wrists. And some things that I didn't show you before that I should show you more of it before you do all the knuckle push-ups and all that stuff you should be doing. So, okay, let's get started. I'm giving you these different sizes, but I got one smaller than this that I bought too. And this for the small, you could even get ones bigger than this, and it's going to cost you a pretty good bit. You can get big, giant ones if you go look around for Indian Club but you can use hammers in a hardware store for this, but there's some ways that I can grip things for squeezing. What I don't like about those is your hands are always going like this instead of like this. And then if you got deficiencies in your wrist, unlike them bodybuilders that really are all jacked up, that some of us, different statues, have less, what you call it, underdeveloped wrists and all that. I'm going to show you later on, you lay down and you crank like this, but then, believe it or not, there's instead of just using some dumbbells, oh yeah, this is too lightweight, what's the sense of doing that? That's not the point. You could actually use the spin lock dumbbells and put only the weights on one side and then do this too, but these represent, say if you're working in a warehouse or somewhere, instead of the hammers, you know how you got the different mallets that are shaped like this, but believe it or not, you're not just curling with the bicep when you're doing something like this. You're actually curling with this, and there's if you're like a taller person, unlike people that have naturally wide wrists, you're trying to develop this in here instead of down here, which everybody you're trying to develop up here too. And it don't look like much, but when you're just doing this, it's some of the bicep is doing it, but you're actually, I'm not going to waste too much time with it, you're actually lifting with this. You can sit there while you're watching TV and do this. And then, like, you get big, you can actually go and do this one. So there, when you're actually using this one, you should use the little one first when you're first starting out, because if you didn't develop enough anything in here yet, and you go straight to a heavier one, it ain't going to do shit for you. And you're going to be wagging around like this, which when you get better, there's nothing wrong with that too, when you start doing it with bigger weight, because then when you're doing certain work, you know, that matters too. It's not, you're not saying to don't do it that way, but you need a little bit of everything for whatever reasons. Not going to make a long ass video and waste too much time with that, but another thing what you do here, say take advantage of something like you got here, or if you're on your couch watching TV, right, and do some of this. Hold it either like this, or you can hold it like this. Then you can actually see in here what's developing if you play your video back or look in a mirror or a camera close to you. Then when you're more ready for it, use one of these. Then it actually works out as almost like a tricep exercise too, but unlike them machines that exercise and inflate the tricep, you can be missing out on developing this real solid too. Because this also, when you're using tools out there in construction jobs, you've got an edge. That's one of your best kept secrets. So you're cranking your wrist this way, and this don't feel like much, but if you do it a bunch of times fluidly, and with your fancy barbells and all that stuff that's a big pain in the ass, that if you ever move, you gotta pick up all that and carry that. there's no need for, like on the dumbbells, oh, bam, slamming it down like you're deadlifting and all that. These are more for like the subtle flexibility, and there's so many different YouTubers that use them that are way more built than a lot of us that admit that there's something internally that you're working with at, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I actually did one of those job assignments that I worked for an agency, and clean up in different buildings, moving stuff, everything from moving office furniture to construction cleanup. I had one job where this big construction company was renovating this big old building, right? And they were actually putting a gym in and everything else, real fancy. And and what I was doing is helping some person, put together their weightlifting equipment. Just moving the stuff for them, and then all the people that or representatives that know what they're doing, they're putting it together. And I was actually carrying, when they were had put everything in, I was actually carrying the barbells, and I noticed that certain different weights, I was carrying 2 of these, 10s, 20s, and then when you get down the ones that are like 50 and 150, there's a point where, the bigger ones you're carrying for a while, but by the time you're getting down the steps with them, some of the bigger ones I was going like this, because you noticed that when you get to the bigger ones, especially when you were carrying a whole bunch, when you're carrying the barbells, it was like your grip at your fingers were actually starting to come loose and drop them, because I was already carrying I was just making trips, carrying them all to get them down there early. I was working with a couple different people. And this place had double doors, like when you take everything straight in, but the one thing that was their indoor gym was the only thing that wasn't double doors. So we were taking brand new weight machines that were in shipment apart, right, just to get them through that door. That was crazy. I think I told one of these guys one of them stories one time. But so anyway, one of my job assignments was moving all kind of gym equipment. You know what I mean? I'm familiar with it. That's just extra talk on my part. I didn't plan on telling you all that shit when I'm doing this video. I was just demoing this for you. But yeah, anyway, like what these are for, like different weight classes. You can hold it like this, or like this. There's the fluid cranking of a wrist like this, and then there's this. Like you need a little bit of this. Then you graduate to. So you're doing this part of the wrist and this. You know what I'm saying? And that's more important if you're not one of them big, wider built guys. That they can do that stuff, but no need. They've got all completely brute strength, and they have maybe natural weight class that already had to their advantage, even if they didn't, you know what I mean? Even if they didn't do all that weightlifting. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, do one of these. Some, like wrist cranking. Or this. No need to bang it down. These are not for that. No need to be banging it, because somebody would actually that owns this property where I rent an apartment will actually lose their shit if I found out there's cracks and it's my fault. I'm banging things around here. No need, you know what I mean? Or in your own house or anything like that, Unlike all the barbells, you're curling, you got some big old thing, and bam. This, no need. There's no proving you have to be more manly and all. Because unlike, doing a big old bicep curl, which there's nothing wrong, we do sometimes, a little bit, you got if you're out lesser advantage than some of these other people, maybe your secret in cranking the wrist, you got to do it, start out with small ones, and yeah, that's what I'm saying.